Hi guys and welcome to the circus. So today we have another CFA fight. This is me against my friend again. I'm currently using Harri and Magia dolls and I'm up against Bermuda. So as we proceed to our mulligan, and I actually drew into quite amazing cards. Okay, he rides onto Seer and then uses Mermaid Idol Reviere. Superior rides and then fetches himself a grade 3 Reviere. Okay, so he returns everything back to the deck from the bind zone, shuffles the deck, and then what does he do here? He calls down a Seer and then uses Seer once more to Soul Blast 1, reveal a grade 3 from hand, and fetch himself a potential grade 3 on the top 7 cards. And proceeds to my turn. We draw a card and then ride onto our Flying Peryton. Get a quick shield, draw a card, and then we don't have anything else to do, so we just swing 8k to the opponent's face. And then the opponent doesn't guard, so we drive check and reveal a front trigger, which actually doesn't matter that much at this point. The opponent checks a draw trigger on top of that, so he rides onto Caro. Superior rides onto Super Idol Reviere from his hand. Superior calling his Mermaid Idol Reviere from Soul, and then makes her into a 10k booster. He calls down another Seer to Soul Blast 1 and then reveal a grade 3 again. Check the top 7 and then fetch himself a grade 3. Will he check one? Okay, he fetches one Caro. Okay, he calls down another grade 2 Melody, proceeds to battle phase, and then swings with his Vanguard worth 20,000 onto my face. I said no guard, and then checks a grade 3 and I check a draw trigger, draws a card, and then that's a defensive that is really amazing at this point. Now we will guard with our grade 1 Dark Side Bitter Master in order to put her in the soul, then proceeds to the opponent's end phase. Now it's our turn. We stand and then draw another perfect guard to hand. We ride onto grade 2. Unfortunately, we don't have a grade 2 Magia doll, so we just ride onto our extra copy of Lore Pigeon Pop. Now, we are actually thinking of doing something here, but I don't see much use in calling cards right now because I need those Magia doll grade 1s to be put in the soul. So, there's no use in calling them. I just want them as shield power at this point. So, what I did here is just swung with 9k unboosted to the opponent's Vanguard because I can't hit his other unit because of Seer. Now we check, fortunately we check a front trigger that deals the opponent damage, and the opponent gets another draw trigger, which puts his hand a little bit more useful. Now the opponent starts his turn riding onto grade 3. He rides onto the grade 3 Reviere, gets himself a Force 1, putting it on Vanguard. And then, what will he do here? Will he call more units to smash me? Okay, he uses... He used Top Idol Reviere's skill to counter blast 1, discard a card, and then draw 2 cards. Now, what will he do? Will he call more units or reserve his hand? He called the grade 2 Reviere. Okay, so he proceeds to battle phase, swings with Reviere, unboosted because it can potentially restand. We use our quick shield here. He swings with Reviere onto my face. We say no guard, and then proceeds to the drive checks. He checks a crit. Okay, he gives the power to his other column and then gives the crit to Vanguard. He checks a heal as well, and the heal is good. Now he heals 1 damage out. He deals another big attack onto my face with my little 9k body as Vanguard. I'm debating here on what to guard, and then we just guard with our Periton in order to put him in the soul. He proceeds to end phase. Unfortunately, the Reviere player didn't get to superior ride. We now proceed to our grade 3 turn. Now we get ourselves a Harri, get Axel 2, draw a card, and then calls down Melody Tamer Betty. So we check top 3, fetch ourselves 1 Magidol. Unfortunately, we don't have a Magidol. We just put everything back to the bottom of the deck. And then this is actually my bad. We shuffled the deck. I'm sorry about that. We don't get to shuffle because we are not going to shuffle because Betty only puts those units back to the bottom. We don't shuffle. Okay, so that was a misplay of mine. Now we are actually thinking of what to do here. If we call 2 units here, that's actually fine, but we don't have that much Magidols left. I mean, we don't have Magidols to that much Magidols to spam because we don't have the 2 grade 2s. We use Harry's skill here to call 2 Magidols on board and gives them plus 5,000 from Harry's skill, and then now we draw a card that encounter charge 1. We call our Lore Pigeon Pop, checking the drop zone, and I believe we don't have a Magidol to fetch. Now we just proceed to battle phase with our Lore Pigeon Pop hitting his Vanguard because both columns can't be hit. He takes the damage. We use Lore Pigeon Pop skill to bounce himself to hand with a counter blast. Call our Star Pop Dragon from our deck to thin out our deck even more because we don't need to have more Star Pop Dragons in deck. Now we get ourselves an imaginary gift, but I forgot to put on a stage mechanic there, so that's my bad. I now get an imaginary gift XL2. I draw another PG, that's fine. Now we swing with our Vanguard to his face for 25,000. He doesn't guard. We check a heal trigger. Okay, so we are actually debating on what to put here. We are going to put it on Periton so that we can get that magic numbers. Now we will put Star Pop Dragon onto the position where we can't hit the Vanguard, and then we just hit with Periton for 23k. He guards with the 10k shield. Unfortunately, we can't hit with Star Pop Dragon right now, so we just swing with him and then retire himself. Proceed to end phase and proceeds to another turn for the Reviere. Now proceeds to battle phase. He didn't do anything else. He just swung with his grade 2 Reviere into my Periton. I would gladly take that, and then swings with Vanguard 23k. Now I said I don't guard, so he doesn't take a trigger there. We check ourselves, no trigger there, but that's a Harry that we actually quite needed. Now he swings for 23,000 onto my face. We guard ourselves with a 15k shield for 27,000 and proceed to the end phase. Now we proceed to our turn. We draw another Harry, we ride onto another Harry, draw a card, and then proceeds to our main phase and potentially fetch our pieces in the drop zone. Now we use Betty once more to rest herself, check top 3, fetch a Magidol if we have one. We have one. Put everything back to the bottom. Now we put those units to soul, and then this time we didn't shuffle, thankfully. Now we proceed to calling our Lore Pigeon Pop. We use Lore Pigeon Pop skill to fetch ourselves the only prana in our drop zone to put in the soul so that we can utilize her this turn. Now we have 3 units. We don't have Lunatech Dragon yet, so that's unfortunate, but what we have is what we have. Now we use Harry's skill to counter blast 1 and discard a card. We will discard our Dark Side Mirror Master and then call 3 units. Oh no, we only called 2 units because we don't have Dark Side Mirror Master and Soul. Now we give the Vanguard we give Prana plus 15,000, plus 10,000 to Vanguard, and plus 5,000 to my Periton. We actually misplayed there. I should have I changed the positions of my units so that we can make a huge column on the right side. I mean on the left side. We draw a card. That's unfortunate. We drew a heal, but it's shield power, so it's fine. Now we call our Lore Pigeon Pop onto the rearguard circle to fetch ourselves the Dark Side Mirror Master that we discarded from Harry's skill. Now we swing with our Lore Pigeon Pop on the stage for 24,000 onto the Vanguard. Will he guard or not? He guards for 15k shield. That's completely fine. We use Lore Pigeon Pop skill to bounce himself to hand and Superior Call Star Pop Dragon from our drop zone. Now we have 2 Magia Dolls on board. So we give we have 3. So we give the power. So we give 15,000 to our Star Pop Dragon. Proceeds to attacking with our 35,000 Vanguard. We check, no triggers unfortunately. So Star Pop Dragon is only a beat stick. Now we swing for 35,000 onto the opponent's face because again we can't hit his columns. So will he guard here or not? He guards for 25k, so that's more than enough. We swing for 35,000. He guards again for 40k. Retire our Star Pop Dragon and proceed to our end phase. Proceed to the opponent's turn, and I guess this time he can Superior Ride another Reviere during battle phase. I believe he can. He calls down Lisalot, checks the top card, and then just puts hit and just puts it in the soul. He retires Lisalot to call down Karo. Now to use Karo's skill to Soul Blast 2 and then fetches himself a copy of Reviere, which ensures that he has the Superior Ride. Now he proceeds to battle phase and then swings with his grade 2 Reviere into my Starry Pop Dragon. I actually thought of defending here, and I'm guessing I did defend. He only requires 5k shield, so I just used my Prana here in order to put her back in the soul. And then swings with his Vanguard 23k unboosted. I said no guard, and then checks something. He checks a crit. He puts the power on his other column. He gives me 2 damage. I'm on the losing streak right now. Now he uses Reviere here. Finally, Superior Rides onto Reviere. He puts the power on his grade 2 Reviere, and then proceeds to using Reviere skill to counter +1 draw 2. Swings again for 1 drive check onto my face, and I used a perfect guard. He checks nothing. Now he swings for 28,000 with his Karo onto my face. I will guard for 22,000, and I will guard for another 10,000 for 32,000, and puts every single Magia Doll onto the soul. He proceeds to the end phase. I was confused there because he had 1 more swing, but I guess he just denied, but I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he misplayed there. So I called down. So we proceed to our turn. Now we will go for the win this time. We have a lot of Axel Circles produced, which means our Star Pop Dragon is really big right now. Now we call our Lunatech Dragon from our hand and then actually overcall. We call our Misdirection here to utilize her skill CB1 and put a unit from your field to the soul. Draw 2 cards, and then get ourselves, and then puts a card from our hand to the soul. We just put our other copy of Lore Pigeon Pop because we only need 1 again. So we fetch ourselves another Lunatech Dragon to soul to utilize every single Magia Doll at this point because we need it. Now we use Harry's skill to counter +1, discard a card, retire everything else that is not needed on board right now. We need to end this game right now. We call down 4 Magia Dolls on a board. Now, we interchange the positions there. Give everybody +5, give the Vanguard +10, and give Prana herself +10. With these columns, I am now aiming for the win. Now, we proceed to scooping one unit, and we just returned the Super Idol Reviere from his rear guard into the soul. Now, we proceed to our battle phase and we swing for... Oh no, I forgot to use the grade 1 skills, so we just counter charge 1 and then draw a card and then proceed to battle phase. Now, we swing for 34,000 onto the opponent's face. Will he take it? Will he guard it? He guards it with a perfect guard. We use Lore Pigeon Pop skill to superior call another Star Pop Dragon. Now we get ourselves another Axel, which turns into 30,000 alone. Give the Vanguard plus 25k, which puts him at 55,000. A really amazing number. We proceed to attacking with our Vanguard for 35,000 onto the opponent's Vanguard. Now, will he guard or not? He didn't guard. We check a front trigger on top of that and another Lunatic Dragon. So we proceed to dealing ourselves into the final 5 damage. We swing for 47,000 onto the opponent's face. He guards it with 30k for 43 and 58. That's enough. So 32,000 onto the opponent's. He checks a heal. Now he heals it out and 23,000. We swing for 65,000, 2 criticals and no PG. Can he manage to hold on? He doesn't, and we got the game. That was one good fight.